you doing, good people? This is the 8-Bit Animal. Okay, so last summer I talked about what I considered the second best football game on the NES, that being Tecmo Bowl. Today, just because it's the release of the 25th Madden title, I decided to talk about the best game, the best football game on the NES, and arguably the best football game ever made. It's from 1991, and it is the direct sequel to Tecmo Bowl. If you haven't figured it out yet, today's game is Tecmo Super Bowl. Okay, so Tecmo Super Bowl takes a lot of the gameplay conventions from the first Tecmo Bowl title on the NES and expands on them. It fleshes out player rosters going from 7-on-7 or 8-on-8, I can't remember exactly what it was, to full 11-on-11 gameplay. There are almost full rosters on the game. Pretty much all of your starters are there. There are substitutions, injuries, stat tracking to a certain extent, a full season mode with battery backup save. All of the NFL teams at that time are present in this game, so all 28 teams. It's just a remarkable football game. Instead of 4 plays to choose from, you have 8 plays to choose from. The defensive gameplay is still based on picking the same play or picking a play close to your opponent. And you can, if you know what you're doing, you can pretty much exploit so many glitches and bugs in this game. Well, the glitches and bugs that are present, because they're not a lot, truth be told. This game expands upon Tecmo's, because Tecmo was the first company to really use cutscenes in their games on the NES. Tecmo Bowl expands on that by adding a lot more cutscenes in different situations, like sacks and intercepting the ball, receiving catches, throwing passes, kicking field goals, things like that. There are a lot of cutscenes in the game. There are a lot of just little things here and there that just make Tecmo Super Bowl such a joy to play. This game is held up so well that in recent years, there have been reproduction cart sites that have made roster updates available for Tecmo Super Bowl. So every year for the last about 5 or 6 years, you've been able to, if you can find someone who does it, get yourself an updated roster and updated teams, updated rosters, and all that on your copy of Tecmo Super Bowl. And it's really interesting that some of these titles can fetch a pretty penny. One particular store that I've come across, they were selling those roster update carts for upwards of $100. Now, by and large, you can get one for about $25 if you're looking for the actual cartridge. If not, you can probably find one. There's a website that releases a roster update every year pretty much, and you can find one around the second or third week of the NFL season. So if you really want an updated roster of Tecmo Super Bowl, you can find one. You just gotta go look for it. As far as the NES cart, the original NES cart, they don't really go out into the wild that often. People aren't getting there's certain games that folks just don't get rid of. And Tecmo Bowl and Tecmo Super Bowl are 2 of those titles. Usually a copy of Tecmo Super Bowl can go for about starting at $15 on eBay. And depending on the condition it's in, it can go up from there to some asinine amount. So yeah, looking for a copy of Tecmo Super Bowl can be a needle in a haystack type of thing, but it's definitely worth it because, like I said, Tecmo Super Bowl is probably on the short list of greatest football video games ever made. Hell, it's honestly one of the 100 best video games, period, that I've ever played. So that says a lot. This has been the 8-Bit Animal. I'll catch you tomorrow.